We first thought the universe revolved around the Earth. Then we learned the galaxy revolves around the sun. And now it seems the world revolves around the internet and its many abilities. It's hard to believe that the internet and computers were once a rarity and impossible to use. But now they have become the fastest in the dispersing of news, the root of the anonymous opinion, and a network of support for left field ideas. Our society even depends on the World Wide Web. Imagine not having the internet for a week. Everything would inevitably collapse, including the stock market. Media would slow down, and ideas would almost stop movement completely. Social media describes an online network for socializing. Examples of such are as follows: Twitter, Facebook, and MySpace. Recently, it was discovered that Facebook was used the most to share news links. Social media has been used and is used now as a sort of link hub. Generally, a family member or friend posts something, and then recipients post it to their friends, eventually spreading the information out to many different places and people. 50% of people have heard breaking news via social media instead of via the direct source. Social media is used 27.8% of the time, making it the third most used source of news. Because of being one of the most used sources, it is also least trusted because of the reason that it could be anyone posting something, and they don't even have to be who they say they are. Nevertheless, it is shown that people prefer to go to social media sites than a news site to review news. I have a chart here that shows that wherever I can do that, it's readable, there-ish, that shows that friends and family, or people receive news from their friends and family 70% of the time on Facebook, then 30% of the time from news organizations or journalists. And for Twitter, it's 36% from friends and family and 27% from uh, the news organizations and journalists. Even specific as social media, online news is making a decent attempt to be the top dog in the news, so to speak. Many newspapers and TV channels have squeezed into the internet, and now many have popular sites to give the news. Along with pre-existing news sources, many other news services have become big. One of the biggest is Yahoo. In addition to being a search engine, Yahoo has become a big competitor when it comes to the news. One of the biggest reasons that Yahoo has almost a monopoly over the online news is that the fact they have many different sections of the main news or main site itself, including news.yahoo.com, music.yahoo.com, and tv.yahoo.com. All these have news about different things, which gives them a reason to have such control. A little bit of proof that online news is where we're headed is that online news sites have had more revenue already than print newspapers. 46% of people get their news online 3 times a week. All of that is a pretty big once it's thought about. Almost 50% of people get their actual news 3 times a week at least. This is very clear proof that online news has become and is becoming the source for news. Recently, Newsweek, a large famous news source, has decided to stop their publication printed version of their magazine. Instead, they have decided to go completely digital with their new reports. Although widely used, social media is not widely trusted as it can be commonly wrong. Many times, social media has been used and wasn't truthful. Among other things, reasons that social media is bad is that there is not always integrity from reporters. This is something that TV has over social media. The fact you can know the reporter that might report the nightly news and he would be a familiar face. While on Twitter, a reporter is a profile picture and a name. A reason that this is a problem is that if said online reporter were to lie about something, all they would have to do to get people to believe to believe in him and his reports again is to make a new account as a different person, which is understandably easier than if the same thing was done by a TV reporter, because the reporter would most likely be out of a job if they were to do such a stunt, and most likely it would be hard to get a job with something like that in your history. A large and rather interesting topic on social media is hoaxes and false information and how it spreads. A sad common thing that happens is a site or page will be set up and say something about a celebrity who died, and it will even seem realistic. A lot of these things will become very infamous and become viral and spread quickly. Recently, a Morgan Freeman death hoax went viral on Facebook, originating from a Facebook page and going out from there. Eventually, the page gained 60,000 followers. This is simple proof of how viral certain things can get if many people have an interest in it. It's easy for fake news to become famous because whether it's true or not, readers like news and tend to share it. So if someone reads a fake article about a presidential candidate, it says that something incriminating, it might catch the reader's interest and they might make it public to people that they know or who to turn in. Or it's easier for fake news to become famous because whether it is true or not, readers like news and tend to share it. So if someone reads a fake article about a presidential candidate that says something incriminating, it might catch a reader's interest and then make it public to people that they know, who in turn show that to people who they know. And this continues until a whole gaggle of people find out about it. Social media has many pros and many cons. For one thing, news via social media is instant, but on the downside, there's only a little space to get the point across. A pro and con is that anybody can report. This means people with lots of access can give information, but also people without facts can give information. Overall, the world is a big place, and the internet and social media help spread the word. But also, anybody has access to spread the word, and it is up to the reader to believe it or not. A basic rule of them is that not everything online is true, and the reader needs to do research to find out the truth. And that would be my speech.